Alright, it's your man Brett from the Skateboarding Show, and I'm here with this gentleman. May you please introduce yourself?
My name is Chris Haslam, and I'm a skateboarder. Been for skating for 26 years, maybe 27, right. 25 years, maybe. So, and I've been around the block a few times.
You probably flipped in and out of the block a few times.
I definitely have. Yeah.
And where are you from originally, Chris?
I was born in Niagara Falls, Ontario, in Canada, and I spent the first 10 or 11 years there, and then I moved to Singapore for the next 8, and then I moved to Vancouver, and then it was probably about 2 years after I moved to Vancouver is when everything started moving forward with my skating career. Skateboarding as a career, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not necessarily just the career part, but I was going to university and stuff, just skating for the sake of skating.
So you went to uni. What did you study at uni?
I did like a year and a half of general arts stuff, like painting and studio painting, and I mean, I hated it. It was just stuff to do because there wasn't any interest in, you know, history or like algebra or any of the sciences or you know, so I was like, I mean, I like drawing and stuff, so I would just do that. But about a year and a half in is when Slam City Jam came through, and I got noticed with some of the stuff I was doing, and it kind of snowballed from there into a 20-year career.
Which is still going strong now.
Well, it's still going strong. Maybe, you know, that could be questioned, but it's still going. And I mean, you know, however it is, if it's going or not going, it's not too big of a deal because I've been blessed with 20 years of not having to work a real job.
Nice.
And, you know, that's not many people can say that, you know.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So just briefly going back to that, so it was you getting noticed at a comp, because when are we going back to? If we're going back 20, so we're going back to like sort of 99. Right.
Well, 99, because 98 I moved to Vancouver. 99, I was getting to know some of the scene in Vancouver area, you know, with distribution thing. You know, I was starting to kind of know how the things worked with distributions and all this stuff, and you know, the Moses Conans and the Rick McCranks and the Macnows, they were all Sluggos, they were all in the mix at the time there. So I was getting to kind of in and out know those dudes, and you know, I was the guy that was skating this one park all the time, and you know, they knew the park, and you know, they knew the guy, but you know, they didn't know my name or anything. They just knew I was there, shaved, the bald head guy.
Right.
And then the Slam City Jam contest came through one year, and I wasn't even at the contest. I was skating the same park, and they had a barbecue at the park.
Nice.
I was at like Muska, all these dudes were there, and I was just doing what I do every day, and the distribution there saw me do it, and they saw how they reacted to some of the stuff I was doing, and then they just started, you know, flowing me free action shoes, free stuff, and then it, you know, I built a relationship over years with them, and it kind of turned into what it did, you know.
So were you doing? I mean, I don't know who's watching this, and so I don't know what they know, but you have a very creative style on a skateboard. It's, you know, there's the usual tricks that people might expect to see.
Yeah.
Excuse me for using such.
No, it's all right.
Usual. Yeah. I'm just trying to explain the sort of usual stuff that people might see, but then there's the stuff that you do that's got a twist to it, which, in my humble opinion, stays this side of dork trick stuff. It's not dork trick stuff. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute, let me just rewind that. Did he just front foot impossible out of that? Like, what? Yeah. So were you doing some of that stuff relatively early on?
I did.
Some of the stuff that got you noticed?
It's kind of like, I think I was doing like, I hadn't like found my direction. You know, I was just doing everything. You know, and I just did a podcast with Sluggo's brother Dave Boyce.
Right.
And he was around that same time when he was around when I was just getting there, and he told me in this podcast that he would see me do like weird kind of tricks at the time too, which it seems like a lifetime ago. I can't even remember, but yeah, to a degree I was just messing with everything. Right. You know, the rail stuff, the trying to do manuals, trying to do the weird ledge stuff, trying to do the weird flat ground trick, but I was just all over the place with it. And it wasn't till I got involved with Day One and Rodney that I started, getting influenced by their direction and their way of presenting themselves to the media and the masses,
and their particular way of interpreting a skateboard and an object. Because I mean, those two names you just mentioned there, I mean, of all the people to start,
I know,
sort of skate.
I know. I don't like. I don't
just
know.
Just in case Rodney Mullen and Day One Song, and again, if you don't, with all due respect, if you don't know who those guys are, pause this and go and look them up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they were just coming off of like the success of the Round 2 video,
right?
So they were like, and there was no. Keep in mind, there was no Instagram, or the internet was like still kind of, wasn't as social media driven. So VHS, like DVD and that stuff was like the main thing. I think did Round 2 even come out on DVD, or was that VHS?
It's around that sort of time where it would have been a big deal for it to come out on DVD. It would have been like, wow, this is out on DVD.
Yes.
Now, this is just keep going. I just want to double check.
Yeah,
I've definitely got that in the mic.
Yeah. So
no one wants that.
Yeah, right. It's just muffled. Yeah. So the Round 2 video with everybody and their dog had just seen that, and they were.
And it was a big deal in those days, because like you say, like when something got released, it didn't just get lost in the swamp of everything else. It was like, wow, this is Round 2 of Rodney versus Day One.
And very rarely are the second ones as good, or if not better, as the first, and these two were. So the steam that they had together and what was going on there was massive. And it just so happens that I got gifted the ability to be in their presence and to be into their circle. So when there was a opportunity for a Round 3 video, eyes were like, it was going to be huge. It was huge. The video was massive. The viewing of that video was massive. I think they sold like 30,000 copies of the DVD.
Wow.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, we did like world tours and everything. It was huge. And I had the opportunity to have a part in that thing, and I knew it was going to be huge.
Yeah.
And I was learning. I was learning the way that Rodney and Day One would think about how to film a video part, and how to look at it in a way that would help people come back to want to see more stuff from me, because that's what some people lack these days is, if you know what they're going to do,
then why bother watching the next?
Well, even if you want to watch it, you already know what they're going to do, and there's only very few people that get away with it. Like Andrew Reynolds can get away with it. I mean, he's going to kick over front side or something, but you want it.
You still want to see it.
You don't care because you want to see it. You know what I mean? Because it's the way that he does it, who he is, and all that stuff. I'm not one of those guys. I don't have the Reynolds thing. I have my. Well, I mean, other people might disagree, but I myself, I don't see myself as that. I see myself as something that I want to. Why would I want to do the same thing again? I did it once. I filmed it once. You saw it once. Why would I want to film it again so that you could see it again?
You're right that you don't have that, but you do have something else. That's why.
So there, like, I don't want to do it again, because if they're gonna expect it again, why the hell would they want to come back and see, because they already seen it once. So, and that was something that Rodney always told me. He told me, I think it was, I could be wrong, but I think he said, like Daniel Howard Sturt always told him that if no one ever expects, if they don't know what to expect from you, they're going to keep wanting more from you.
Which is really interesting, because I was just thinking about that progression. I certainly remember, and I don't think we're too different in age.
38, so no.
40, yeah. So yeah, I certainly remember sitting down and watching those first 3 Plan B videos as they came out, and just like, you know, Rodney doing stuff. Rodney, as if I know him. Rodney Mullen doing stuff in those videos that to this day would stand up. You know, doing stuff in those videos that was so far ahead of it, doing technical tricks in lines that to this day very few people are capable of doing, even if you ask them to.
Well, Rodney is like one, if not the only one, that has successfully transitioned from choreographed freestyle skating into a form of street skating that he's been able to have another 30 years of career. Like, I don't think any other freestyler from that zone has ever done that.
And what you were just saying about kind of keeping them guessing came through as well, because you can't take what he did in the Plan B videos and even begin to compare that to the round videos, you know, like the stuff where he's like getting the ledge to move underneath him and ollieing onto it, and then and you have to, again, that's one of those things where you have to just stop for a moment and go, hang on, rewind that a minute, what did he just do there? And you very, you know, after you've been skating a little while and you can read the language of skateboarding, you don't often have to stop something. You can just watch it and go, oh yeah, he did this, this and this. But to make you have to go, whoa, hang on, I've been skating long enough, but I still need to, let me just get my head around what he just did there. That doesn't make any sense.
And they I don't know if they saw something in me. I mean, they must have, otherwise I wouldn't have been there. But I was the type of person to, you know, feed off that stuff and
absorb it and take it
into my own skating. And so when the round 3 video was the first video that had a, not in terms of trick wise, but just in terms of how I organized my the editing of what I was doing in the part,
right,
and getting an idea from Rodney and Daewon about how they have always done their stuff. 2 different ways of doing it. Daewon and Rodney have 2 different ways of making a video part. You know what I mean? And I was getting both, because I was just doing what everyone does. I'm just gonna film. I'm gonna, you know, whatever angle is good. You know, how to put it out, I have no idea. I'm just gonna put it all together, make a video, and that's it. That was me. And then all of a sudden, I have this huge beast of a video that has so much potential that I have the like ability to really technically launch my whole career path. And I had the opportunity to get to pull from the way that Daewon does his thing, the way that Rodney does his.
From 2 maestros. They literally are maestros. They are the almost the pinnacle of skateboarding in many respects.
I mean, they still are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, I see Daewon as one of the most productive skateboarders I've ever. You know, if you follow his Instagram account, it's just like. He's still
100% skate. Yeah, he is always.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so if we're coming up to round 3, we're coming into the early 2000s.
2003, 2003-ish. And then I mean, it was released 2004, I believe.
And I mean, obviously, I saw those videos and it connected with me, and I'm really sorry to still be bringing this up 13 years later. But the one that just smacked me over the head was obviously Cheese and Crackers.
Yeah.
The one that just made me sit there and go, this is some different level stuff. You know, like I thought I'd seen some mini rap. You know, I'm lucky that that coming from England, obviously Tom Penny is a bit of an influence, and some of that
he
old video footage.
He was so good at that stuff. I don't know, he still is probably.
Yeah, and some of that stuff from when he was a teenager in a mini ramp in Oxford
with the orange t-shirt.
And the big baggy pants, and just like
that stuff. Yeah,
and you're just there like, my gosh, that must have blown everyone's mind. And then the stuff that you and Day One were doing on that Cheese and Crackers was just like, and everything about it, like the music choice, for example, perfect. Like, everyone's so eager to make sure they've got this, like, not that Relaxed by Frankie Goes to Hollywood isn't cool, but everyone's so eager to have the most uber cool music.
Yeah, no.
And you're just like, no, this is cool. Check this tune out. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that was, we wanted to do something that would spread naturally, and me and Day One were skating together, and we were thinking about, because we'd always skate mini ramp, we're like, what the hell, the last one we saw, I mean, the one that really sealed it was when Rally was doing his Chichikov part in the woods with the ramp,
right,
and the Volcom stuff. I mean, obviously the Plan B section was the crazy one, when Danny Way was doing all the crazy moves, but then we're like, well, no one's actually ever filmed, like, there was, mini ramp was always like, oh, it's there, but it's there.
I think that's another thing that nobody had done, because that's the other thing that blew my mind, that like there was no streaks, there was nothing. It was like, this is mini ramp, and you're right, there's that weird thing about, it's mini ramp, who wants to see mini ramp?
No, believe me, that's what was it, we're like 15 minutes on it. Are you kidding me? Like that,
right,
that's crazy. Like, this is gonna, who knows I mean, I wouldn't want to watch a 15-minute video on a mini ramp, and before, but we just did it, and it was just, me and Day One were just on the same level, like, in terms of what we were looking for in this thing, and we fed off each other, and it everything was, I mean, we did most of the filming, we did most of the editing, we did most of we did all the skating, obviously, but we it was just there was very little advertising for it. We were just like, boom, here it is, and then it kind of had that like natural spread, and we're just like, oh, I guess this is it, and we'll see how it does. We see how it does, and it fucking sailed. It went mental.
Well, it just happened to also come at just the right time, that sort of the idea of viral internet.
Oh yeah, it was
blew up as well.
Oh yeah, it was like, I know Dwindle like put it out, and they started seeing what it was doing, and they were like, oh, we need to do mini ramp contest tours. We're like, no, we're not doing it all.
No, just leave it. Yeah.
I mean, they did board, like they did little things. Like, man, we were getting when Tech Deck put out Cheese and Crackers ramp with like a DVD, and we were getting like $5,000 Tech Deck checks.
Wow.
Like a month. We didn't do anything, but that was like pretty the main of it. We didn't do any of the contests or any of that stuff, and we just let people take from it what they wanted.
Yeah. And I think that sort of almost brought it to a cult status, that video, it has this sort of like, to me it almost has a feeling of like, there you go, mini ramp complete, done. like done. Like, unless you're gonna go stupid, then you're not like, we don't need to see anything more, because it's already been done, it's there. It's presented in those 15 minutes, like, and that's not to take, that's like as the biggest compliment I can make. It's almost like level complete, done. Like. Well,
this is another, like, when as I'm getting older now, they know sponsors are what they are, and the money in it is kind of wishy-washy. You know what I mean? The milestones that being associated with the guys that I have been associated with, that I've been able to help me complete in my career as a skateboarder, has been ridiculous. Like, and being able to have something like Cheese and Crackers that was mine and Day One's thing, that we showed it to people, and it was insane. It not bragging, but it went crazy. and being able to be a part of something like that, I know not many people will have that, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And being able to say that, like, that was a day one in my thing is like, that's enough for me. Skating doesn't owe anybody anything, because and if you get into skating thinking that it owes you something because you put your time, is bullshit, you know what I mean?
No, I'm with you with that. It doesn't owe us anything. We owe it something.
Yeah, absolutely. We owe it everything. And if it can give back to me something like that, like, that's it. I don't, you know, that's more than money, because that money comes and goes. That's something like that the impact it had on. I'd go to China, so people like this, people would be talking about it in China still,
right?
Like they talk about it in South Africa still. They talk about it in Russia. They're in like Brazil, Alaska. It's everywhere. Japan.
I think it's got that same, you know, it's gonna be up there. It is already up there with things like Animal Chin or Hocus Pocus, or, you know, those like really monumental videos that made like those 3 first Plan B videos that just make people go,
they were good.
Oh my gosh, that's what you can do on a skateboard. Like,
well, that's like being able. Then that's what I love about like being in a position I'm in, being able to see how it can, what you do and what you think is driving you crazy can just influence everybody. Everybody takes something different from what you do. Like that kickflip that I filmed, that was like driving me mental, and it sucked, and it was whatever. Some kid in Spain would be like, dude, oh my god.
Hyped.
Or you know, the lip slide or the blunt triple flip or something. It's gonna affect somebody everywhere. And when you go on tour or go to trips or go to countries, that one dude will come out and be like, dude, you remember that kickflip you did that? I was like, yeah, that thing sucked. He's like, dude, that was the sickest thing ever. And
it inspired me, and I'm hyped on it. And
you'll see it.
Going,
it'll inspire his whole quiver of moves that he has. And you're
his
like,
whole portfolio.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's his. You know, that's what makes him stand out now. Is that like bag of tricks that he has, and it all stemmed from something that you thought was terrible.
And then you continued along that line of doing really interesting things. And the last thing I saw, because dare I say, I mean, how do you feel your career went after that? You stayed on Almost for a little while.
I stayed on Almost till 2016, but we had like when we were Cheesy Crackers, there was a Globe video. United by Fate came out. There was a 5-incher video. There was the Pro Spotlight, and then the recent one I had was the indie part, the Sterling Golden part. So, I mean, and the one part that was probably the one I wasn't satisfied with was that Pro Spotlight part, because there was I had some visa issues in the U.S. and I had to stick around. And I couldn't do how I usually to film the parts, but I mean, all of the other parts, I was like, you know what, I'm pretty proud of what I did there.
Good.
You know what I mean? Like I mean, it drives me crazy to do them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But within the overall product and when it was finished and stuff, I was pretty confident that it was at a level that I was satisfied with.
Because we only see the end result. We only see the stuff you made. We don't see, see the hours and days of...
Exactly, yeah. And it's crazy. That's what I mean. One trick could take you 2 weeks. You try every day, and one could first try trick, and some kid will be like, oh, that trick was awesome that you did first try. I was like, yeah, that was crazy, but whatever. I tried like 1,000 tries on this other one. You don't even care about that one.
Yeah.
You know, but then, you know, it's just varies whoever you talk to, but... I mean, yeah, man. It just got deeper, you know. As I saw the, I mean, I guess I could say recipe for a successful part for myself. I saw how that was being cemented, and I just, you know, all right, this is it. This is what I need to do to feel satisfied, to feel like my level of skating is where it should be. and I get, you know, and people are inspired by what I do because they tell me, you know.
Yeah.
These are the things that this recipe gives to people, and it gives to me, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And it drives me fucking crazy to do those things, but you know, in the end, it's the portfolio that I have is gonna be something that I personally will be proud of, you know what I mean?
And you should be, because what I'm also getting at is that the innovative stuff is still the last bit I remember very distinctly watching of yours is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like China or somewhere, and there's like a pyramid block thing, and I think you're going up into like some sort of lip slide.
Barcelona.
But is that Barcelona?
Yeah.
And then the way you like weirdly pop into another trick on the same ledge.
Yeah.
And so like I gotta find a way of saying this. It was like, okay, what am I gonna see now? Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. And that fact that it's still happening.
Yeah. And well, again, you don't see the part where I would go to that spot like, you know, days on end and just sit and look at it and figure out, okay, this spot has been totally destroyed by everybody. There's something I can do here. I don't know what it is, but there's something I can do. So, you know, it's crazy because that particular time, the front board one, I went front board behind the garbage can to lip slide.
Right.
That day was when Matters Apps was there for the Element video, and he did a shove it one, you know?
Right.
He did the shove one. But I'd been living in Barcelona at the time, and I would go down there and I would just go into board slide, and I noticed that when I would bail out of a board slide, I'd shoot out, my board would fling in the air.
Right.
You know, and just like how Rodney talks about him learning new tricks where he's flinging like his board and it flips crazy, and it was like, oh my god, what the hell is that? Like whatever, impossible or whatever he does. And I was like, oh my god, if my wheels hit the A at the same time but on either side, it's gonna fling in the air. So I would go down there and I'd be like, oh my god, I could shove it, and I was just going up and doing shove it and landing on it. I hadn't even thought about filming it. I was just like trying to figure out. The Element dudes came. We go down to that spot, and it was Ethan Lloyd he did a front feeble hard flip out. I don't know which video it was in, but he front feebled the whole thing, and then I was just going up and just messing around again. Matters comes along, does it again, and he starts doing it too. Oh, that's sick. He films it.
Right.
I'm like, damn it. Fuck. Well, he asked me first, to his defense. He's like, do you mind if I film that? And you know, of course I'm not going to be like, no, it's mine. I'm like, if you feel like you got this, do it, man. Yeah. You know. And so he did it, and that's when I was like, fuck, man, I just spent like ages trying to figure out what to do here, and he just took it from me.
He's just done it.
Yeah. So that day I was messing around with something else, which was, all right, well, if the shove it works, it's gonna work the same way if I just do a 180. So how the hell do I do a 180? So I do front board to fakie, so that's what I was doing. I'm just trying to front board and hitting it 180, and it started working. And then I was like, you know what? This is mine. I like this better anyway. And I landed one, and then I went back a few days later and did the other one, the half cab board to back lip. Did that twice, and then I was like, you know what? This spot's done for me.
Right.
I don't need to do any more. I planted a seed, and hopefully somebody will take it crazier than I think I could have done. So
right, so you're open to that idea of, okay, so I've done this, and now let's kind of almost pass the baton on.
No, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not trying to do all the tricks in the world. I want to keep people's mind, okay, this spot has been slaughtered. Oh wait, no it hasn't. You know, like,
that fresh interpretation of it.
He's like, oh shit, because like Rodney, it's the impossible is impossible until you see somebody do something different, and you're like, oh my god, it's not impossible. I'm gonna do this now, and then you open the door to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I can do that for somebody skating, hell yeah, I'm all about it. Because Rodney did it to mine. He's done it to everybody's kickflip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did the kickflip. He's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You could flip your board.
Yeah.
Same, but I mean, obviously not to as monumental of a accomplishment as the kickflip, but you know, to a degree nowadays where you think everything's completely done, but you know, that the littlest thing could have somebody just being like, oh my god, I know what to do there now. You know what I mean? And then his will open it up.
And it did have that effect. When I watched it, it was like something new, nice. I like the way that's been done. I like that. That's not.
And then some kid's gonna take it and go like, you know what? I'm gonna do it to nose blunt, or I'm gonna blunt, and then whatever the hell else that kids think of these days. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if I can have that effect on somebody to open the doors to someone for make their mind to think differently, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. That's gonna help change the way that skating is viewed, not only for everybody else, but for me. I want to see that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to watch. I skate the way that I want to see people skate, and you know, I've just been fortunate enough to be able to have the persistence to do these tricks until I land them. You know what I mean? To do that for me. But
I mean, you mentioned Rodney and Day One. Is there anybody nowadays, not that they're not present or not that they're not contemporary, but is there anybody else nowadays or any new talent coming up that gives you that same feeling or has that same sort of thing for you? You're saying that you like doing the skating you want to watch.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else doing the skateboarding that you like to watch?
I mean, there's plenty. Yeah, I mean, in skating, the dudes, there's so many dudes out that it's not like I've been I just kind of pick and like certain things from each guy. You know, there's like a lot of dudes that I just see a little bit of.
Right.
And I just, you know, I'll just like, oh, I like that. That's cool. So, you know, maybe I'll watch the guy again another time. But he's on the radar. You know, I mean, there's not. I can't even on the spot. I don't really think of any names because it's just, you know, there's so many of them. And personally, I just. To me, there could be something as easy as just the way that his hands are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, you know, the way that he pushes, or something he does to switch his board around a certain way, or, you know, the flick that he has, or, you know, or the crazy manual, you know, or the actual trick, you know. So there's many people that maybe it's subconscious or whatever, but I'll see stuff and I'm like, oh my god, that gave me an idea. You know, just the way that he turned his board around, or the way that he did a tail stall on a mini ramp, or maybe I see them screw up. You know, they do the B rolls or the raw cuts or something, and they're like bailing. I've got a lot of ideas from people bailing tricks that were supposed to be other tricks, and I was like, oh shit, I think I might be able to do that, you know?
Right.
And then it would, you know, send me in a different path to do something. But in terms of specific people, I don't think there's one specific or two specific dudes that do that for me. It's just it's like a bits and pieces from the whole plate, you know?
And there is such a big plate now.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Instagram every single day,
that's what I was just thinking.
Every 2 seconds, there's somebody like, oh.
And like you say, it can kind of get lost. You can kind of watch something and go, wow, and then keep flicking, and then all of a sudden it's like, God, who was that I just saw? I don't know. No. And then you can't even find it again. It's just gone. That's
the part I don't like about social media, because you know, at this day and age, kids are literally like putting their life on the line for some of the stuff they do, to have it forgotten. You can't even remember your name. You can't even remember your name, and it's just, you know, it shouldn't be like that, because, you know, everybody want, you know, they put their stuff, they work hard for what they do, they should get recognized for what they do, and half the time you can't even remember who it is. So it's like, what's the I mean, I don't know how to change it. It's good. No. You know, I don't know what
the solution is, or what the answer is. But you've got a very valid point. That, I mean, I wonder if there'll be some sort of like renaissance back to the idea of feature videos and feature.
I have no idea.
It's but
because we know the skating used to go on like 10-year-ish waves.
Yeah, for sure.
And nowadays, the waves are a much shorter, more extreme wave, because with social media and how everything is so instant, you could, especially now when board brands are like, oh, we have to do 9 months in advance our graphics. All right, well, you're trying to guess
what the fashion or the trend will be
in 9 months. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's like 6 waves of it already. Like you can't do it.
Yeah.
So like we have to figure out how to fix that first, and then like maybe that'll help. I have no idea.
Talking of boards and board graphics, who's your board sponsor at the moment?
I left almost in 2016. I was just I asked around for board sponsors for a bit, and then a couple months in, I was like, this is pointless. I don't need to hear any excuses on why they don't need to sponsor me or all this garbage. And I just skated, and I filmed the part. I filmed the part. I was in Barcelona, and I moved back to the North America, and I started my own. I figured I would start my own brand, Brainchild.
Right.
And it was going to be my art. It would be, I'd get to do a lot of the team stuff and all that stuff. I mean, we had a bigger plan for what it was. I announced it on the 9 club I had, and pretty much immediately after, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and I have, there was all these delays and stuff, and now have to rethink my whole plan, and I basically just had to start over again 6 months later, and I just literally started again, moving forward with what I was going to do. And I reassessed my game plan through all those 6 months, and instead of I thought about initially when we started to make it a board brand that would run toe to toe with things like Primitive, and
right.
Maybe that's reaching for the stars, but you know what I mean, like a bigger, more higher productive brand with everything, like 6 boards in the line and all that. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm doing this by myself. I know I'm not going to make it. I don't want the stress of having to deal with like not making any money and trying to compete toe to toe with these Goliaths in the skate world. So it's a hobby. I'm gonna make a board brand that's a hobby. It's not gonna be something that I'm gonna make a lot of money off. And when I say that, the money I do make, I'm gonna try and share it with people. I'm gonna, like, all the boards I'm gonna make are gonna.
Is that one of them over there?
That's just the shape. Right. I'm just testing shapes out now, but the boards I'm gonna make, proceeds of all the boards are going to go to charities that relate to the graphics that I choose to draw on it.
Right.
I don't care if it has a team, I don't care if people hate it or whatever. It's something that I can put my skating towards. I can put it on Instagram, whatever. I can do my art towards it. I can feel like I'm bringing awareness to the skate world, especially when things like this happen.
Yeah.
When things like this happen, this is kind of what got me thinking that, like, the world sucks already. Like, I need my friends around.
Yeah.
And if they're in trouble, I need them to open up about stuff so that we can all get things going. You know what I mean? So, and especially when it's skating's such a hardcore, like all this stuff. Why can't we, figure out how to? The world in itself needs this whole thing to be, needs the awareness of it all, But in terms of skating, I'm at a platform now that I can try and kind of bring awareness to things. Like, if you haven't, just talk to me, or you have issues with some other stuff, or you want animal rights, it's okay to have interests and be aware of stuff that's outside of skating. Because a lot of kids these days that get into skating, into the sponsored skating, have no direction, like no guidance. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because the people that are supposed to guide them, the team managers or the whatever, you know, I mean, I've seen hundreds of them. Most of them aren't in there for the guidance reasons. So when kids are like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they get out of it when they're 25. They're the 7-year window, and now they're not the #1 seller anymore.
No.
Okay, now you guys are not sponsored. Now what do you do? I haven't got a clue. I don't know how to pay taxes. I don't. How do I talk to people about my issues?
I didn't finish my education. I've been Johnny Big Pants, and everyone's been yes people around me, and now I've got to go face the world and have people tell me no, turn up on time, do this, do that. Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can maybe bring some sort of like direction to people with what I'm doing with this brand, to be like, oh, maybe that resonates with, like, oh, that interests me, or I have problems with that, or whatever, and they can, you know, maybe go to my the Brainchild website, and find links to, you know, things that could,
organizations that could help
them do stuff
and inspire them and give them direction.
Exactly. So that's what my main goal is now, and I'm going to try and do that through my skating. And if people want to be involved with the skating part, like I don't know about team stuff. I don't know anything. I'm just, right now, I feel like there's a void there that I want it to be out there, that there are it's not just skating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just skate life all the time.
Because skateboarding doesn't exist in a vacuum. It does exist in the context of the rest of life.
Yeah. I know. And everybody has the same problems in skating or out. But I mean, if someone can find something they're looking for with what I'm doing in this, then it's a success. You know, I don't need to make millions of dollars with it. I don't even want to make millions of dollars with it. I just want it to be successful in its own purpose, which is
in its own objective. Which is the objective of educating people in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And if people will look to that because they see what I'm doing in my skating and they like what I do, then, you know, maybe that's,
which is really amazing, because that really fits in well with where we are right now with Camp Hillcrest. You know, I've just sat and talked with Tom and heard about some of the other educational stuff he does during term times, during the weekdays.
I mean, these guys don't even know about it. I haven't even like, I kind of launched it at the 9 Club, but then, you know, nothing's happened this whole time, and this will be my official second launch.
Right.
Because when I go back to the U.S., this will, you know, I'll have gone back before this is online, probably, right? No? I mean, I'm going back on Fridays or on Sunday.
I might get it up before then. I might not.
Well, if it's up
whatever you'd like.
do you
want me to delay it? Like,
no. I'm just saying, I'll be back in America, and when I get back, if this is up on, I'll probably be, you know, dealing with. I've drawn 2 graphics already, and the first one's going to go to Suicide Prevention Lifeline for.
So hopefully, you can see what Chris is pointing to is the Ben Ramers badge.
Yeah.
You know, I've mentioned it on the show before. I'll mention it. I told you I'll mention it again, and I'll mention it anytime anybody brings it up. You know, enough power and respect to Ben and what happened there, which is that, and perhaps we shouldn't be scared. Ben committed suicide. Ben was in a place.
Yeah, no, it needs to be said.
Yeah, it needs to be said. Where for whatever reason, I knew Ben a tiny little bit. I didn't know him that well. I guess you probably encountered him.
Yeah. No, I knew him well. Yeah.
Because Enjoy was part of the whole dwindle. Yeah. So and very unfortunately, Ben committed suicide. And I don't really know what more or less to say than that, because I don't want to.
Well, man, it's all
any assumptions or
anything apart from just no. I mean, I don't even know why, but it's gonna be why there's gonna be a why is the whole thing, you know, why. The question is why, but obviously he was facing some issues, and this is why I was like, you know what, this is what I want the brand to be about. That was an issue that nobody saw in Ben. And he must have been suffering from it pretty intensely to be able to do that, and he thought there was no other way out because he didn't know who to or how to reach out to people, and if he maybe he was lost at where to go, and maybe someone else is in that position. They might be like, oh my god, I like Haslam skating, what's this garbage brand that he started? Like, there's a cool, like a website. Just look through the website, maybe there's something on there that he likes or whatever. But that's kind of what changed my mind, you know. It's like everything doesn't have to be about money. Everything's always
a bigger
money.
Purpose, a greater objective.
Especially in skateboarding, when it's like, you know, I don't want.
We talk a lot of talk about the community, and we talk a lot of talk about it's an art form. There's elements of philosophy, there's elements of self-discovery and motivation, and yet still it's about like, well, actually, how many skateboards can I sell and how much money can I make?
In the end, that's all it is. Like, it's tough, you know. It's like I'm not making enough money.
That's maybe a cynical view I just put across.
Well, it's very like
every company that exists is a capitalist company looking to have more money coming in than they have going out.
Well, I mean, you know, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. But
which it kind of has to be to continue to exist as a company. But that doesn't, like, what I'm picking up of what you're saying is that doesn't have to be the only objective. Perhaps there's a far greater objective about educating people. Because I wonder if that was part of the Ben issue, that actually there's a weird thing about like, we aggrandize pros so much, and then all of a sudden one day you realize, bloody hell, he might have been really lonely. Like, every single person thought he was the most amazing skateboarder, but perhaps he didn't feel like he was connected enough to anyone who wasn't just gonna suck ass all day on him. That he couldn't even tell someone, hey, I'm going through something here. Have you got a couple of minutes for a cup of tea?
Or the friends couldn't see
what was going on.
He didn't want to, I don't know, burden them with stuff or whatever.
Who knows what it?
And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the only guy that's doing this stuff, but you know, I hope more people do it. You know, like, I hope I'm not the only person doing it. Maybe I just haven't done my research on if there's in the skate community what's going on with that stuff. But you know, I just felt like it was something that it was make me feel satisfied that I was, you know, doing something more than just nollie hard flip, whatever, tail slides and buy my board. That's why I'm not even having my name on any of the graphics. I'm gonna make such small runs that I'm gonna just sign the top. They're not gonna be my pro graphics. They're just gonna be
a skateboard. That you
it's
can
gonna be a graphic. It'll be drawn graphic, whatever, and I'll just, you know, maybe sign the top or something, but it won't have my name on the bottom.
Am I right in saying, was Brainchild? Why is that pinging in my head? Was that the name of a World Industries video?
Love Child.
Beg your pardon.
No, you're right.
Beg your pardon.
And Tori Puddle just kind of brought back Ghetto Child. So we're just like, and I was with Tori 2 weeks ago. So we're like Ghetto Child, Brainchild, and just talking about Love Child as well. So just like child. But it's no, I mean,
it sounds it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
very, very interesting.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean,
and like you say, people can find out about that on the website. I take it.
Search. There'll be just Brainchild. I mean, the website's not up yet, but I had to take it down, and I'm making a new one. So with all the changes to what's going on with the brand and stuff.
And the new purpose you actually making it? Are you quite technically minded? Can you do all that sort of gear? Or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I learned it off of basically YouTube videos and stuff. But I mean, it's going to be a very basic website. But
well, that's all it needs to be, isn't it? You know, like you say, it doesn't need to be uber slick. The critical stuff is the information that you're gaining from it.
I mean, and the Instagram is, you know, I just post drawings and some skating here and there, and you know, when things get moving, I'll start posting more things relating to the graphics that I choose, or why I drew them, or you know, if something, events or charities that I'm painted boards for, or you know, that kind of stuff, you know. But that'll come in time.
And talking about the future, what else have you got planned for this summer? I mean, you're in England. You just missed the summer, by the way. We had a weekend of hot weather.
2 days. Yeah. Well, I got one 3 days ago. I got one of the days. Yeah, nice. But I don't know, man. I did the part in February that came out. Sterling Golden part came out, and I've just been dealing with this stuff and trying to get this second kind of resurgence of it organized. And you know, I do want to come back and forth to Europe and stuff. I love coming here to skate, but nothing too serious.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I needed a hiatus from the grind of, no pun intended, filming. You know what I mean? Because it's killing me these days. I think my mental checklist of what I feel like I need to do to be at a certain level with my career is surpassing my ability to actually do this stuff. You know what I mean? And it weighs heavy on me, because now with Instagram, it's both quantity and quality at a repetitive rate.
Yeah.
And I don't work like that, so it kills me. It drains me so much that I have to be like, oh my God, what do I do? And I felt like that already with my own Instagram, is that now I'm treating it like it's a one clip video part every time I post, but the one trick takes me like 2 weeks. Even if it's a flat ground trick, you know what I mean? Like maybe and I can't think of anything else to do. And I don't want to repost because, you know, I hate seeing the same thing twice. So I'm like, but I end up doing it, you know, because people may not have seen a certain trick, or I think of a certain trick that I want to share, and, you know, I'll just post that. But I can't keep up with it, man. It's like killing me.
Yeah, it's an interesting time with reference to stuff like, you know, like we've mentioned. It's a very interesting time with that just bombardment of media.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
I mean, I like I hope it comes back to the ways of, like, you know, you have put something out. You don't necessarily, people are not in your lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so they know exactly where you are, what you're doing, the latest news on you, all this stuff. But I don't know if it was, because if you're not in that realm, a week goes by and you're like, oh, where did he go? Did he die? What the hell happened? He must have quit, or like, does he even skate anymore?
Yeah, right.
And you know, you could be skating with your homies that whole week. And you go, it's like,
and killing it and doing, you know, and skating really well. But just because you haven't published anything on Instagram, you're absolutely right. And
that's what I've been. I like this past week and stuff. I've maybe been doing stuff in Europe and stuff like that, but I've just been like, last week I was in Barcelona and Berlin and stuff, and I was just, you know, I just want to skate with my friends. I don't want to think about Instagram. You know, I don't really have that many obligations besides my current list of sponsors, you know, Indie and Mob and Bones Bearings and stuff, and Glassy and Leftover and stuff like that. But there's no video parts that need to be filmed. You know, they're doing their things, and I just want to have fun, man. I don't want to think about Instagram. It's always every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Wake up, look at it. Go to sleep, look at it. Wake up. You know, I just want to. I wish I could
live your life.
Yeah.
Watch other people live theirs.
I know. It should be. You know, You should have to look at your phone all the time, but you know, we're all guilty of doing it.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay relevant in the world of skating, you need to do it, otherwise you'll get forgotten about.
And I might, and obviously I'm being slightly hypocritical because this will go up on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, God, yeah. Imagine sitting around watching other people talk about skateboarding.
No, well, I mean, that's at least has some sort of education. I mean, well, I guess watching skating will, you know,
it's inspiring.
Yeah.
So again, it's that double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah,
you never quite know.
Yeah.
And for me,
it just caters to a different audience, I guess. Well, with this stuff and the actual act of skating, you know. But, you know, I can't stop it. You might as well.
I'm gonna come in left field.
Yeah.
I've often noticed the rips at the bottom of the jeans.
Oh, that was from a time when.
Light interruption.
Hey, buddy.
A bit of pizza, don't you, mate?
Oh yeah.
Never.
Yeah, there we go.
Lee had some pizza as well.
Have you had any yet?
I've had some. Yeah, I smashed some back. Yeah.
Okay, I got to eat. I want a piece of this.
Come in, get in the shot quickly.
We got it.
Charmin, are you skating? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, I've just been doing some.
Come and say hello.
With the kids.
We gotta say hello to the.
This is my friend Lee Charmin. You've seen him on if you watch the skateboarding show, you've seen this guy numerous times. Chris, you met Lee, haven't you? Lee.
I have, yes.
We go way back to Cirencester.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday and beyond.
There you go. You must be starving. You were hungry when you arrived.
Tom, that's very, very. Oh wow, that looks beautiful. And is this homegrown courgette as well from the farm?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Mark's made it. It should be because he probably gave him the courgette today. So.
Wow. Thank you.
No worries.
Look at delivery.
Are you are skating? You're staying for a bit and skating?
Yeah. Do you want? Yeah. You're gonna. Well,
and it's getting late, but yeah. Why not? You only live once. You're just nicking his board. You can't nick Chris's board. What are you doing?
Right here. Yeah. There you go.
Bad etiquette.
I'll leave you in the raddest horse box going.
Yeah, this is the This is
it's good sound. It's good sound in here, man.
This is fully the spot. Thank you, Tom. Cheers.
What?
Yeah, the ripped jeans. Sorry, they're a throwback.
No,
I can't eat on camera. I can't write.
That's all. You just It's I started doing that when I was getting flowed fallen shoes. Actually, no, circus shoes.
Right.
The Jamie Thomas circus shoes, because I hate seeing my tongue, and those were massive at the time.
Right. It was that era.
Yeah.
That time.
So I would like do it so that it covered my tongue, and I've literally done it for fucking 20 years or however long I can't even remember how long. I can't not have it.
Right.
But I guess I don't really need it, but I just like the way that it covers my tongue and half my laces, you know. It's not. I don't know if is that like hipster or something or
no. I just wondered whether there was a functional reason or an aesthetic reason, or
it
sounds
aesthetic,
like a bit of both.
But I also I don't want to see my ankles because and my tongues, because I mean when I wear shorts I do obviously, but like my ankles are massive, so when I wear pants and stuff I just want it to cover half the laces, and I don't like seeing the laces tied up and stuff. So.
And have you got a shoe sponsor at the moment?
I don't know. I've been getting I have a friend that works at New Balance, not Mark,
right,
but in the US, my friend Jason Rothmeyer.
I've heard that
Santa
name.
Cruz, Santa Cruz.
Right.
He is he works there, so I just go through him. There's no there's no real
cheeky friend deal.
Yeah, cheeky friend deal. Well, again,
if you're around in the sort of mid to late 90s in the UK and you were reading Sidewalk magazine and read any interview from anyone around the sort of Bristol area, they would quite often quote that they were on DW Flow.
DW Flow.
Danny Wainwright. Because they were quite often getting
I was trying to go to Barcelona and be on the Vans DW Flow program.
Get some DW Flow there,
Cool. So it's just like I don't even know if it's flow, it's just friends
hooking you up,
which I'm appreciative too, because you know, like I'm not, and it goes back to like, what do I expect now in this stage of my career from, you know, do I want to try and get a new shoe sponsor? Do I, you know, want to try to keep hustling for a shoe sponsor or not? Like, I'm 38 years old, man, you know. and in my mind, like the routine of what needs to happen to sustain a shoe sponsor without feeling like I'm going to get booted off, which is a disgusting feeling. Do I have the mental endurance to keep up with that? I mean, obviously I'm not going to pay a lot of money because there's no money in it, you know what I mean?
No.
So would I do that, or would I get shoes from my friend and have no obligation, and already know that what I'm going to do is something that'll generate a little bit of money to help do these other things, and just have fun with what I'm doing. Maybe I'll film another part, maybe I won't, who knows. I'll film some Instagram stuff, maybe I won't, who knows.
That freedom
that's what I mean.
Lovely. Yeah,
and I think it's like freedom. A liberating screw it, I'll wear whatever shoes I want, you know what I mean? I'll skate whatever, I mean, I have a Brainchild stuff, maybe I'll skate a enjoy board, whatever. I don't care. But it all comes back to like where in my mind, like what do I expect from from the industry at this stage? And I'm right now, I'm like content with what's going on. I don't have I'm stoked on the sponsors I do have right now, and I know I'm not making millions of dollars, but that's not what I got into it for, so it's fine with me. And I've felt like, as you said with Cheese and Crackers, it's like the book's closed. The capsule of this career that I've had in skating, I don't even know what else to ask for. So why would I want to ask to keep it going if I don't know what else I'm gonna do in it?
Yeah.
Because everything I've ever wanted has, I've been able to. It's come to me through my skating and through where I've been with my skating, like 100-fold. I literally don't have any more goals. It's just repeating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all the goals I've ever had, like, what? Get your name on your shoe.
Done.
Yeah, board.
Name on your board.
Wheels.
Name on wheels.
Trucks. Design grip tape. Have your name on hardware. Have your name on clothes. Be in a video game. Be in movies, motion capture work. Be in Tony Hawk CGI, like cartoons. Be in travel the world like 100 times over. What am I gonna do? I do demos for people that have been affected by what I do in my videos, that they've named their kids after me. They've they've made things just because they've been inspired with what I do to give me when I see them. There's all kinds of stuff. Like, I can't ask for anything else. So if me not getting a shoe sponsor is a huge issue for me, then I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I see what you. It comes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. Skateboarding doesn't owe you anything.
Nothing.
And for you, it sounds like because you've kind of gone full cycle and had everything out of it without greedily taking it.
Yeah, no.
You've been offered. You've gratefully received.
And I've been able to, and I feel like I've been able to kind of give back with things like Cheese and Crackers and stuff like that.
For sure.
It's been reciprocal. And the capsule of my career as a professional, has spanned almost 20 years. In the line, like from Decca to here, it's been like 20 years.
Almost.
Yeah, it's like
almost as long as this interview.
Yeah,
so
20 years long. Yeah. Your pizza's gonna get cold, man. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm satisfied with what I've given and what I've received from this career of being a skateboarder.
I'm grateful that this interview has been so long because it's been really, really insightful.
Oh, thank you, man.
Really insightful.
Yeah, I don't sound like an egotistical.
No, not
prick.
at all. No, not at all. And that's the reason why. That's part of the reason why I do interviews. Because do you know what? Like, of course I'm going to publish this, but I'll be completely honest, I want to know this stuff. You know what I mean? And for me to get the opportunity to sit down with you and just ask you this stuff, like almost the videoing of it is like a bonus. You know?
Yeah, you got to hear my disgusting voice for the next 5 hours when you edit this thing out.
Do very little editing.
Okay, perfect. Just raw dog.
Just be like my logo at the beginning and my logo at the end, and that's it, and just go straight out.
Perfect.
Like I was explaining to Tom, you know, this is skateboarding. You know, there's no rewind button.
Yeah.
And B, if you're interested, I'm interested in skateboarding. I've done skateboarding a long time. I'm still interested in it, and I could sit and continue to ask you questions for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But it feels like a good time, maybe.
Right now.
Yeah. And what you were saying about, you know, you've done everything. And that feels like a good place at which to say thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, man.
Really,
thank you.
Really, thank you. And I don't know if you've got any energy left and whether you're up for a little bit of a skate. It's very late. Probably not. I'm not even sure if I do. But we'll see what happens after the pizza.
Yeah, I know. I've just cleaned mine up too, and I'm a little settling it in still. But we'll see. I mean, I'll definitely go over there and watch for sure. I mean, maybe I'll give it a little run or two, but
you're welcome to watch. I've got nothing for you to see.
Well, maybe Ash will go in there and take a slam or two, you know. But
see me do a slasher grind, maybe.
That's good. If you gotta touch that coping on the side there, it sounds good. The pool coping.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll see what Charmin's doing as well.
Yeah.
Charmin's got strong mini ramp game.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I think he was fired up to get a little roll around with me out there, but I gotta go in and see if I can actually walk around. We did a couple parks today I got stuck in the mini ramp section. Actually, yesterday.
Right.
I got stuck in the mini ramp section until kind of late, but.
And sorry, I totally acknowledge there's more to your skateboard than just mini ramp.
No, it's good. No. What? Even if who cares? Mini ramp. I mean, skating is skating, and you view it for what it is. I like skating mini ramp.
Nice.
And you know, I'm not afraid to. I spend so much time skating mini ramp that obviously, you know, that with cheese, especially with cheese and crackers, that's what a lot of people will, you know, gravitate to, and that's fine because I mean, I don't give a shit. I like skating mini ramp all day.
I still haven't seen many people do some of the same ledge stuff and interesting stuff that you do as well.
Well, I mean, I work with what my skill set is, and it's not like a Shane O'Neill or a Paul Rodriguez ledge type thing. You know, I don't slide very far, and I can't ollie onto high things, so I work with what I got, and I try to make it interesting that way. And I mean, I'm hoping it comes across that it comes across nice.
Certainly does. It certainly does.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I do. You know, you got to work with what you're given, and you walk your own path with that. So,
Chris,
hey man,
thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was a pleasure. Yeah, no problem.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, right on.
All right, cool, man. Thank you. Please say goodbye.
Thanks, friends. See you later.